Hey guys, Charles Zard1 here, bringing you a Power Rangers timeline video. Now let's get into it by morphing into the intro. Okay, so today I'm going over the entire rough main Power Rangers universe timeline. I will make some references here and there to pieces that are only about, oh, this evil got captured then, blah blah blah. So let's start with 10,000 years before MMPR, which takes place in 1993, which I could figure out the time difference then, but that's a lot of work. It would be sometime in the BC. I don't care enough. But that is whenever Rita and her crew got put in the dumpster and then put on the moon until astronauts open it. 5,000 years after that, it was some great evil. I forget. I think it was the demons from not Time Force. Lightspeed Rescue got imprisoned. And then 3,000 years, Daishi got imprisoned by the original masters of the spirits, which we'll get to them. So then in the mid-1800s, we have the Wild West Rangers, who are technically one of the first Rangers teams we see, timeline-wise. But the other options for the first Ranger teams are Dino charged because of time travel, but they're not in the main universe, so I'm not going to count them as the first Ranger team. The other option is Samurai, since we know Jaden is the 18th leader, and he only became the leader because his dad died and his team died. So, and he was about 20 when he was leading, Jaden was. So we can roughly assume that you can lead the Samurai team when you hit adulthood. So that would mean the Samurai team first originated in the 1700s, we'll say? 1600s maybe, to fight the Nylok threat. We never got concrete time for that. It's just a long time ago. So that's very helpful. So, fast forwarding to the 1970s, a team of Rangers is recruited to fight the Green Psycho Ranger on the moon that was created by Zed, I think? And the leader of this team was the first female Red Ranger called Grace, which they either all die or I think they do win, but they just don't keep the power coins and give them back to Zordon since it was on one mission. And then, 1993, the trash dumpsters opened on the moon. Which, why was it on the moon? Why is there oxygen on Earth, on this moon in Power Rangers? That's a whole line of questioning we can get into later. Maybe a future discussion video. Who knows? So Rita and her crew were set free. And then the first documented team of Rangers appeared, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, originally starting out with the 5, and then gaining the Green Ranger, who later became the White Ranger over time, and switching out 4 members for 4 other members, because 3 went to a peace conference, and 1 went to go do gymnastics. During this time, they get 3 new sets of Zords, actually. The original Dino Zords are damaged, so they have to go to the Thunder Zords, and then those get destroyed by Rita's brother, Rito, and his crew. So then they get the ninja powers from the ancient master Ninjor, and then the ninja power coins get destroyed. Rita and Zed celebrate. The Rangers are turned into kids. The Alien Rangers show up with the Shogun Zords. They fight for a bit until the Rangers can retrieve their Zeo crystals, which help age them back to normal. And then the command center gets blown up as soon as they get the Zeo crystal assembled because Goldar and Rito went under it to blow it up, since it has a network of old... It's been rebuilt over time. It's been destroyed multiple times and rebuilt. So there's a labyrinth of tunnels underwood connecting it. Thankfully, it rebuilt itself and the Rangers had a new chamber, the power chamber, which they then acquire the Zeo powers in to fight King Mondo and his machine empire, which has taken up refuge on the moon, because Rita and Zed, and they kept Rita and Zed out, basically. And with the Zeo crystals, there's only 5, so the Blue Ranger Billy steps down from being a Ranger. Then, during the season, the Gold Ranger Tray of Triforia appears, and he's weakened, so he gives his Zeo powers to the original Red Ranger, Jason, and then we have a team of 6 again. And then, after Zeo, we go into Turbo, which takes place in 1997, and we get another movie. By the way, the original Power Rangers movie, 1995, alternate timeline, so it's not worth mentioning in this video except for that brief segue. Turbo, however, is in the main timeline as it leads into the show proper, where they ditch the Zeo powers for no explained reason, and switch into the Turbo powers in order to fight a space pirate with race cars. This is dumb. Anyway, most of the team leaves. There's the Blue Ranger is now a kid, and 4 new Rangers takes the old Rangers' places as they go off to college, as they basically graduate from being Rangers. Then the new Turbo Rangers, they get their butts kicked. Zordon gets captured on his home planet along with Alpha. And their command center gets blown up again, and this time it's not repairing itself for some reason. Don't know why. Oh well. So, now they go into space because Zordon has connections to NASA. Yeah, it's not important. And they meet Andros, the Space Ranger, the Red Space Ranger, who gives them their new powers and helps them rescue Zordon, tries to help them with the rescue of Zordon, along with a new villain this season called Astronema, which is Andros' sister. And then they get a 6th Ranger named Zane, who was in cryostasis for a while. And then after they defeat Astronema by destroying Zordon's tube, a wave of goodness washes over the universe, getting rid of all the evil. And that's where the show was originally supposed to end. But, money! So the next season, starting with Lost Galaxy, each season had a brand new team of Rangers. No past Rangers except for crossovers, which aren't important for this video. So, anyway, the Lost Galaxy Rangers, they stole a spaceship from Earth in order to go to the moon, because Earth launched a space vessel that doesn't go well. They go to a planet known as Miranoi. They pull swords out of stone like King Arthur, and boom, they're Power Rangers. They fight Trakina, who's like an insect person chick. It's very weird. It's a very weird show. Kendrix, the Pink Ranger, dies. Then Andros' sister, Astronema, who's now Corone because she's good again, takes over as the Pink Ranger. And it turns out Kendrix isn't really dead. When they put the swords back at the end of the season, boom, she's alive again. Yay! Okay, now we go back to Earth with the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers where they're fighting imprisoned demons that have been imprisoned. One of them, anyway. I don't know anymore. They're fighting demons. Nothing really relevant happens. But this is what the first military-based ranger team, which is really a really cool concept, which I wish we saw more, which we do sometimes, but not really as often as Lightspeed, which was like heavily military-based, and the actually had reasons for each ranger why they were there. After Lightspeed and they defeat their villain of the season, we go into Time Force, which takes us to the year 3000 and then back to the year 2000 because time travel. Alright, stay with me. I hope I haven't lost any of you guys yet. It makes no sense. It's Power Rangers. But basically a character from Mad Max has bone swords, and he's evil because society sucks, which fair. So the Rangers have to fight him. They get another Red Ranger called the Quantum Ranger. A future Ranger dies, but not really. And the space-time continuum gets flushed down the toilet for the first time in Power Rangers history. It will not be the last. After Time Force, we go to Wild Force. Basically an environment theme season where we find out that there's this floating turtle shaped island in the sky called the Animaria, where an army of Zords called the Wild Zords, who are sentient, are kept with Princess Shayla, because 3,000 years ago they fought against the first Master Orc, who's now back because some people decided to fuck with science. So yeah. After Wild Force, we go to Ninja Storm, which this is the first Disney season show, in which they're like, oh, Power Rangers are fiction. Which, that's right, it's only mentioned in the first episode, it's nothing big. So this team is our first 3-person team made up of the Ninja Storm Rangers. They later become 5 and 6 with the addition of the Thunderstorm and the Samurai Ranger. I'll get back to the Samurai Ranger. Also, more time travel happens with the Green Ranger going back in time, meeting his parents, getting a magic orb that allows him to become a Power Ranger. He also gets an ancient ninja electric guitar that controls a mammoth. Dino Thunder. Now this season is one of the few seasons that has a mentor from a past season, which is great. We get Tommy Oliver as Tommy Oliver. He's the Black Ranger. He outshines all the other Rangers. He's okay. This is before the community became really sick of him. But yeah, the Dino Thunder Rangers, they're a pretty cool team, and they're a dinosaur-based team, which we've had dinosaurs before. It's fine. We've used like animals over and over, so I don't really care about the repeating Zords. It's none of it really matters in my opinion. So for the next season, we go to the year 2025 with SPD, but the season aired in 2005, and then they travel back in time and have a crossover with the Dino Thunder Rangers, who had previously traveled forward in time to their timeline, to their future, for a team up. Very confusing, talking dog, aliens on Earth, pretty normal. So then we go to the next season, which is Mystic Force, which is really our first team that really relies heavily on magic. I get that Zeo did to a degree, but not as much as Mystic Force does. Which, another evil demons. So yeah, they exist still. Another, that they were locked away about like 5 years ago, apparently. Yeah, considering the timeline, it was only like a few years ago, maybe 10 at max. Which is kind of strange to think about. I guess you could make the argument that these demons could have been part of the United Alliance of Evil that got sent away. They got locked away by the magicians. Could be, or I could be reading too much into it. You decide. After Mystic Force, you get one of the worst seasons ever in Operation Overdrive. There's a team up where the Rangers lose their powers. 5 past Rangers consisting of consisting of Rangers from MMPR, Ninja, Storm, Mystic Force, Dino Thunder, and SPD come back. The SPD green is now red because time travel. Still, the Sentinel Knights in this season, which he locked away Thrax, which is the son of Rita and Zed, like 3,000 years ago. I don't know. I lost track. After that, we have Jungle Fury, one of my favorite seasons, with nothing of really plot relevance besides Daishi getting free. And then we get our first timeline split, not including the movie. We go to the RPM universe, which basically some of the teams might have existed because we see references to past teams in it. But this season is mostly Power Rangers meets Terminator's future. So everything's destroyed by robots that the good guy created. So, yeah. Back to the main timeline. We get Samurai and Super Samurai, the first Neo Saban season on Nickelodeon. I liked it. It's okay. It's average. Nothing really relevant besides besides the samurai stuff I mentioned earlier, with there being like 18 lines of samurai, so we don't know. We also get the first Zord appearance, the appearance of the first Zord, but it's not clear if it's the first samurai Zord or the first Zord ever. It's the Bull Zord. It's a giant bull. Nothing of relevance, really. We get the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers with Mega Force and Super Mega Force. And they can use past powers, as well as Ranger powers that are technically from the future, but I make the exception to them because the morphing grid is like the Force. Moving on after that season, we get our second timeline split, which is the Dino Charge universe, because in the season finale of Super Dino Charge, the Rangers get sucked into another universe. Actually, no. The sun gets sucked into a black hole along with Earth, and the Rangers travel back in time to prevent it by destroying the villain when he first came to Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs. Yeah. I know. Back to the main timeline. We get Ninja Steel and a crossover for the 25th anniversary called Dimensions in Danger, which helps straighten out the timeline bullcrap that's happened. It was an okay season. And now, we're to the current season. Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which is the first Hasbro season. And it's a great season. A great callbacks to past seasons, great tying the universe together. So yeah. And that, in a small nutshell, is the Power Rangers timeline. I hope this video isn't too long. It probably is. Goodness Christ. There's been a lot of Power Rangers. Thank you guys for watching this thing. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want me to cover Power Rangers stuff more, let me know in the comments down below. And have a great day. Bye.